How much did mentality actually play into it though?
I think that's like, I'm not gonna lie, I think that's like 50%.
Cammy, Setty and Teeq are EU's longest standing trio, having formed in December of 2020, almost 1 year ago. At the time, Teeq and Setty were coming off of a dominant DreamHack run. As a solo, Teeq had won 2 solo DreamHacks in July and September, and as a duo, they'd placed 4th and 1st in November and December. Their trio season hadn't been as successful. They were playing with Kubex and definitely looked strong throughout the season, even placing 4th in qualifier number 2. However, in the finals, they were simply outclassed, placing 24th out of 33 teams. It was time for a switch up, and since Setty and Teeq had been playing so well together as a duo and the synergy was there, they started to look for a third. Looking back, it was an obvious choice. That year, Cammy had made every FNCS finals, placing 5th in the duos, 11th in solo invitational, 36th in the solo finals, and 4th in Chapter 2 Season 4 trios. He'd also placed 4th in solo DreamHack in July and 6th in duos in November. On the overall PR leaderboard for 2020, Cammy was ranked 8th overall and the highest of any Polish-speaking player. So in December of 2020, Cammy, Setty and Teeq was formed. Their first FNCS in Chapter 2 Season 5 was looking like a championship run, with after the first day they were in 1st place, even winning game number 6. However, there were still 6 games remaining on day number 2. This is where the drop spot requires some explanation. That season they were dropping at what was then and is now known as the Cammy Split. The Cammy Split generally covers a large area on the east side of the map. Now this has evolved as the seasons go on as the map slowly develops, but the main idea is to collect as many chest and floor spawns as possible from these smaller locations, which when done as an entire trio often gives you substantially more loot than a POI would, with very minimal risk of it being contested. But the danger lies in the name, the Cammy Split. This means that each of the players were distanced far apart from each other when looting, leaving them vulnerable. Now in day 1 of Season 5 they were fine, but players started to realise this on day number 2 and take advantage. The way that they were split in this season was Teeq was landing at Lake Canoe, Cammy was in compact cars but also went over to Gas and Grub in some games, and then Setty was at the small house to the south with the bunker chest in it. On this day 2, we saw Kubex's team triple land on the slurp truck near the Coliseum up to the north and push to take advantage of the split that Cammy had, who landed at gas station in this game. The issue then on top of that is that the retail and lazy teams had also put in a plan to capitalize on the split that Setty had and also then got involved in the fight frequently. After a massive performance and being top of the leaderboards in day number 1, the mentality and game plan was shot for day number 2. They ended up 6th overall this season, which was an incredible performance, but clearly there was a lot of work to be done because this team definitely had a high skill ceiling. A lot of people, including myself in the next season, Chapter 2 Season 6, had high hopes for this team's performance, but it was a bit devastating. In Qualifier 2 and number 3, they placed 6th and 5th, remembering the top 3 will qualify through to finals. In their heat then, in semi-finals, they placed 7th, being 1 place off of qualifying through as top 6 qualified. Then there was 3 games of reboot round where they had the opportunity to qualify to the finals, and they ended up placing 4th, 2nd, and 6th, and they needed to win 1 of these games.
Now it's down to Cammy with only 1 flopper. He's doing all that he can for the chop. Not a lot of ammunition. The finals are on the line. He slips down further and further. The So Close trio is trying to do all that they can. Moraine now dipping into his heels. Can Cammy find the tag? A headshot is all that he needs to go through. Moraine, the defense. This is it, Shio. It's coming down to the last moments.
Oh my god, 1 HP on both of them. Cammy is not the one.
And about the last game, yeah, that was, the tension is like maximum, and then you just release everything, and then this is like everyone is frustrating, sad, crying and stuff, so we need to manage the situation, and that's kind of hard.
Don't worry, it's one tournament. In Fortnite, there's so many tournaments. It's just one. It's just one. You're still the best. What you need to do, guys, you need to remember this feeling now. I know it feels shit. But next time when you win FNCS, you will remember this.
When I sat down with Coach Sven, who's the head coach of Become Legends, and because of that, he coaches Setty, Cammy, and Teeq, probably around 50% of the talk that we had was around the mentality of the players.
I definitely think this is like 50% of the thing, like actually for BL players. And I think there's a lot of really talented players who could be really like more consistent. This is not about being better at the game, but I think this is more being about consistency. I'm not saying that they should go to the gym every day and stuff, you know. If they just get a proper lifestyle and proper healthy life, I think that's gonna help them a lot to improve. And even your mentality, even your mental, everything is better when you're feeling good in your body. There is no reason that you're not feeling good in your head.
Once the discussion moved over to the Chapter 2 Season 7, where they ended up placing 4th, Sven talked about how they approach a 12-game system in terms of mentality.
He's understanding this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. You have the time to play, you have 12 games and stuff, and so that's really important to have this mentality because you get the mindset to just go through it.
Essentially playing every single game as they come. This plays an important role in their success in Chapter 2 Season 8. However, it didn't necessarily start that well. In the 3 previous seasons, this was their average cash cup placements. And if you look at Season 7 in particular, there's obviously one tournament that was pretty poor there, but every other tournament was a top 10. To contrast this, Season 8's cash cup started relatively poorly and weren't even able to get into a top 30 at all. Their FNCS placements also reflected this, the first qualifier placing 11th, which was great but not up to their standard, and then in qualifier 2 placing 92nd and not even making the final round.
So the main issue was we just decided to go in London, and it's not about London, this is not an excuses or whatever, but this is just players weren't feeling that good in London. The mood was kinda bad. Setty, this is as well one of the first time that he's leaving Poland, so you need to like adapt to this. You know, when you are not feeling good, and this is all about mental and the mindset. If you're not feeling good at a place, that makes no sense to like keep working on it, keep abusing the thing that you're not feeling good, you know. So we just decide after the Cash Cup on Monday to just go back to Poland, and then that's just gave us like a second breath.
After winning their heat in a dominant fashion, the next day the reboot rounds played out, and Diox, Crow and Jose ended up qualifying through and looked to contest them at the Cami split. Cami, Setty and Teeq have practiced this drop spot for season after season after season, and you just have to play it.
They're still not going down for the all-in. Really utilizing this bridge, making sure they don't fall down and at the play their game.
Got
Look
one.
at the instant 2 healing.
Got two.
Cammy's just too good. Instead, he's there
What?
for the third. Oh
What?
my goodness. Milwaukee though has the beam. Can he make it go home? Can he live the dream? Here it is, the baits, the shots. It's not going to really come through. Defensive opportunities, it's kind of over. It's too overwhelming. Teeq is there for the win. Setty, Cammy, and Teeq. Game 6, day 1, absolute champion.